Several Henrico teams look to punch their tickets to the Spring State Tournament as postseason play is more than well underway. Welcome to Sports Wire. I'm Will Catterley. We start with ladies lacrosse, where two tremendous teams and rivals squared off with a lot on the line. To the victor go the spoils as Mills Godwin played host to Douglas Freeman in the Class 5C semifinals. The winner would advance to the regional championship game and achieve a guaranteed spot in states. The loser, their season would be over. Now, Godwin came in undefeated, including sweeping the regular season series with Freeman. But the Mavs are defending champs. As they say, it's tough to beat a team 3 times. Something had to give. So to Godwin High School we go. Would the third time be the charm for the defending state champion Freeman Mavericks? They sure hope so. This would feel like a regional final, if not a state final to be fair. And it was back and forth throughout. Early and often, Godwin answers first. Number 14 puts the biscuit in the basket. Anna Grace Richards, 1-0 Godwin. Okay, well, this is just like the Godwin-Freeman matchups in the regular season, right? Wrong, because there's nothing that Cantonin can't do. She has the answer Hannah Cantonin can do. And she puts that in the back of the net to tie the score up at 1. Back and forth we go. Godwin looking for an answer. Each possession, so important, especially when it comes to playoffs. Nice move, pretty, oh so pretty job by Avery Gill. She fires, finds a back of the net. Godwin back up on top, 2-1. But Freeman never blinked. These possessions, you don't want empty ones. Godwin with a chance to up their lead. That shot on the bounce just goes wide. Then, this time, watch the Eagles come around, firing, not finding the back of the net. She finds Freeman's keeper with a big stop. She had a few big ones in this one, and then the Freeman offense making the most of their possessions. Number 18, she shoots, she scores. Anna McKay, A-OK. Freeman gets the equalizer at 2 with 1:02 to go in the first. Still in the first on the restart off the penalty. Great passing, terrific execution, and a great finish to boot. And Anna McKay, she puts Freeman on top, 3-2 after 1. Second quarter, flipping sides now. Godwin trying to find the equalizer themselves. This senior-laden team has answered the bell all year. There's a reason why they're undefeated, and this is it right here, one of many. She shoots, she scores! Lakeland, Boston, one of the attacking seniors, a straw that stirs the drink offensively, knots things up at 3 with 11:03 to go in the second. Freeman, are they going to answer? You bet they are. Mavs got the keeper out of position. They know just what to do with it. The give and go, firing, finding the back of the net. Hannah Cantonin, yes, she Cantonin. She shoots, she scores. Mavs find another goal, and then on the restart, just moments later on the penalty, firing, finding the back of the net. It's Lainey Gilman. And Gilman gives the Mavs the lead. A 2-goal lead at that, 5-3. Godwin not done, not by a long shot. Gets a penalty, but she's going to score and stomp. Avery Gill. Gilman? Gill raises Gilman 1. And Godwin just down 1 at 5-4 with 6:51 to go in the half. On the restart, Freeman looking for action. They got it. She shoots, she scores, and the Mavs retake a 2-goal lead. Godwin would get 1 goal closer, but Freeman dominated the second half, and they move on. 13-8, Lady Mavs get the win. Freeman not only won in the semifinals, but they would also win the regional crown with a win over Patrick Henry of Roanoke 7-5. Hannah Cantonin scored 6 of the 7 goals and now has 82 on the year. Meanwhile, the Freeman guys also win the regional title with a win over PH. Both Freeman guys and girls lacrosse are on their way to states. Cal Travers on the mound on a Saturday afternoon. It's Godwin, it's Louisa, and the Lions, well, they can score some runs. The 8 seed taking on the number 1 seed Godwin Eagles. First inning action after the stolen base. Playing a little small ball. This will work as a sacrifice fly. Louisa on the board first with the RBI. Fly out, 1-0 Lions. But Godwin's bats, they were prepared, and they were seeing the ball well. The walk
to get things started. Matthew Hartsfield has been hitting the ball and just getting on base like crazy all year long. And he says, I can steal bases too. He's in scoring position for this. Plunk, a couple hits Batmans. Didn't take too kindly to that, did number 2 Alex Boyd. A 2 on. It would lead to this. Luke Smyers smashes one deep to left, and that guy's going to go get the baseball because it'll see ya next time. Luke Smyers smiles on the Eagles with a 3-run shot, and the Godwin Eagles retake the lead at 3-1, and they were not done in the first, not by a long shot. Still batting, still connecting. This time 27, that doggo hunt. It's a base hit to left, Jacob Babcock. Yeah, now you got a couple of runners on to do some more damage. Who would do it? Well, this guy. Line drive, base hit. That finds a spot in the outfield. 1 run scores. Here comes another. It is a 2 RBI base knock for Hudson Williams. A 5 spot in the first, and then back to Cal Road. Les Travers. Well, traveled, but we go Travers. Well, some of my names stick, some of them don't. He had his fastball working. He had his changeup going as well. Strike him out, sit him down. He's going to go a long way to see how far Godwin can go in the postseason because he can't pitch Smyers every game. You got a pitch count on these guys. Strike him out, sit him down. He struck out the side. That's the way to sit down an offense after yours puts up 5. He would be paramount to Godwin's success. So would the Godwin bats. They just kept on a hit. Hits kept coming. Sac fly to right. Number 13 doing a job. Eli Mack Turk hitting it like a Mack truck. RBI sac fly 6-1 back to Travers. Strike him out, sit him down. Cal got it going on. It's not like Louisa couldn't hit. They were able to scratch another one through, and this would be it. Number 8, RBI base knock. Louisa back on the board, 6-2, still within the realm of coming back, but Travers, and how about the catcher here? That's a high fastball, but Carter Dunham throws a strike to second to get the out, and then the Godwin bats took over from there. Dunham with a base hit, set everything in motion for this. Swung on, and that right back, return to sender, that's a base knock. And an RBI one to boot. Godwin. That would make it 7-2, and they had more where that came from. Number 3 doing the honors, Matthew Hartsfield again, and then ground ball to second, but it's going to go as a sacrifice and an RBI. As Hartsfield comes around the score, all Godwin in this one. Smyers going to add to the hitting party. He had himself a big night. Not only does Godwin get the win against Louisa, 12-2, they also beat Midlothian, so they are going to states. Congrats to the Eagles. To Region 6A girls soccer we go. It's the semifinals. Deep Run taking on Grassfield, one of the quarterfinals to get here. They are the number 1 seed, and my goodness, did they look like it. Early and often and throughout this night, that shot saved in a beauty. But a great chance, and Deep Run's going to have a lot more, and they're going to execute on a lot more chances. Coming up in just a few seconds. Check out number 27, Carly Ross. You think you got her contained? Not a chance. And then she blisters one in the back corner. She shoots, she scores. Wildcats, just like that, take a 1-0 lead over the Grassfield Grizzlies. Although I'm not sure there are any Grizzlies out there on the beach area in the 757. Maybe there are. Little mistake here about the only one that Deep Run made. The keeper gives it away, and Grassfield is there to put the biscuit in the basket. She shoots, she scores. And just like that, the Grizzlies are awakened from hibernation. They tie this one up at 1. But Wildcats will put those Grizzlies right back to sleep pretty quick and take care of business. Deep Run, another chance right here. Second half highlights. I mean, she just set that one up on a platter. Placed it on a plate, and then she shoots, and she scores. And the Wildcats retake the lead 2-1. They would not look back. More action, more on the attacking side. They're such a good passing team. They space well, and they just execute. Number 23, boop, just flicks it in. Little flick shot. Oh, captain, my captain. Audrey Simpkins. And no, that wasn't simple. She just made it look that way. 3-1 Wildcats at this point, and the barrage was on. Here come more Wildcats. It's a 3-on-0. That's the easiest goal you'll ever see. Easy squeezy, lemon peasy, she shoots, she scores. Bella Biasana makes it 4-1 Wildcats. And folks, we aren't done. No, we're not. Here come the Lady Wildcats once more on the break. Pulling out all the stops is Grassfield, so their defense, well, left to face that. She fires, finds the back of the net. She shoots, she scores. 5-1 Wildcats at that point. And there was more where that came from. Check out this pinpoint passing again. Gouch finds the attacker. And then she's going to fire, find the back of the net. She shoots, she scores. Number 20 doing the honors on that one. It's Hannah Thornton. 6-1 Wildcats. At that point, more from the Wildcats. You want 7 goals? Yeah, it's going to strike fear in the opponent they take on next. Firing, finding the back of that. She shoots, she scores. It's Brooklyn Rover. Come on over. 7-1 at that point. Wildcats absolutely in control. That would be your final little shout out here to the backup keeper. Making a stop and a nice one. Preserve the 7-1 victory. And Wildcats move to states and to the regional championship.
So the Deep Run ladies advance to the regional finals and clinch a state bid, but who would join them? Coming up, it's back to the pitch where the Godwin Eagles guys and girls are both in action when the guys look to topple Midlothian and ladies try to take out Freeman. That and more straight ahead.
Todd's a great guy. I mean, look at him. What a sweetheart. Attaboy. Wait, Todd, what are you doing? How totally selfish and un-Todd-like of you. Come on, Todd. Come on, man.
Welcome back to Sports Wire. Girls 5C semifinals. It's Godwin, it's Freeman. What else is new? Winner advances, loser stays home. Freeman on the attacking end. First and foremost, Megan Patton shoots that one, just goes wide. More from the Mavs, though, later in the first. Still 0-0 at that point. At this point, it wouldn't last much longer. That shot gets knocked away for the save, and a beaut. Alexis Ralston in goal. Makes a nice save. She made a few in this one. Everyone would be paramount. But Freeman coming right back, keeping the attack going. She shoots, she scores! Kendall Fisher finds it and gives the Freeman Mavs a 1-0 lead with only 1:55 to go in the half. But the Eagles had answers. Still in the first. Tick, tick, tick. Godwin in the attacking end. Firing. She shoots, she scores! Riley Shear finds the equalizer just before the halftime whistle, and we are all square at 1 apiece as we head to the second half, and you haven't heard the last of one Riley Shear. Switching sides now. Godwin on the attack again, and they got numbers. Shooting, firing, saved by Freeman. Anybody's game at this point, but on the corner, set pieces, Eagles firing. Oh my goodness, how did that not go in? Almost a handball in the box as well. Instead, they do not call it. Still 1-1. Eagles, though, were more of the attacker in the second half. More opportunities usually leads to big-time results. Firing, that time saved once more. Freeman keeping this tied at 1. And the longer it goes, stay tied. One mistake can change a match. Mavs with an opportunity here. Pass inside. Oh, just off by a fraction of a foot. Freeman could not get their foot on it, so it's still 1-1. Late second. Oh, my goodness, what a move. Oh, my goodness, she fires. And it goes into the back of the net off the post. She shoots, she scores. Guess who? It's Riley Shear. And she should be the player of the match, giving Godwin a 2-1 lead late in this one. And the goalie going to celebrate as well. 8 minutes in change remaining. What can Freeman do? Can they find the equalizer? Firing on net. Nice attempt, but it is saved by Alexis Ralston. And the Godwin Lady Eagles celebrate as they know they are going to states and to the regional championship game. Eagles win it. 2-1 is your final. How would the Godwin guys fare? Well, they're taking on undefeated #1 seed Midlothian. First game of the season, Midlothian absolutely dominated Mills Godwin en route to a huge win. Lots changed since then. That shot early on by Godwin had a chance, goes off the post. Another chance, a rebound just goes wide. In a wide open Region 5C, anyone can be the victor and anyone can go home in the postseason at any time. Midlow with an opportunity. Godwin's keeper gets big, makes the save. Still no score in this one. Still first half highlights. Little drop kick. Godwin with another great opportunity. Excellent move. Keeper just gets there first for the Trojans. So no harm, no foul. But almost gives it away right here. Could have been a foul in the box. They call play on. Pretty much let the kids play in this one. Still no harm, no foul. Still no score. Late in the first, Midlow. Big chance. Developing a chance. Just goes off the foot. Could not corral it. So Godwin escapes. Let's go to the second half. Still tied 0-0. Midlow, another great stop. The keeper gets his paw on it. The defender gets his foot on it. Bottom line, the ball didn't go in the goal. More from Midlow. Another opportunity for the #1 seed and undefeated Trojans. Playing at home, firing. Just goes wide. We're still 0-0. Now, here's a play we normally wouldn't show in highlights. It's a foul at midfield. Well, that doesn't matter, does it? Oh, maybe it does. Every little thing sometimes does. And it would set up this free kick from midfield. Nothing's going to happen, right? Oh, my goodness! It goes to the back of the net. The keeper misjudges it. The boot from the 50-yard line is true. Dino the defender, Dino Sadikovic, gives Godwin a 1-0 lead on an improbable boot from the center stripe at midfield. 1-0, still a lot of time though, 24 minutes and change for this to get right. Another goal for Godwin upcoming here, but they called goalie interference with the goalie's attempt to try to save it. So, still 1-0, a chance for Midlow late. The header goes too high, and Godwin can celebrate. They're going to the regional championship game. They upset and upend the season for the undefeated Midlothian Trojans, undefeated no more. And the Eagles clinch their trip to states to boot. Godwin survives and gets a huge win. 1-0 is your final. To Region 5C softball we go. It is the quarterfinals. Godwin the 1 seed, Tucker the 8 seed. That's a Godwin world, and we're all just living it on this Sports Wire, especially when you have Caitlin Hubley in the circle, because usually it's good morning, it's good afternoon, and it's good night if you're a hitter facing Hubley. I will say this, however, Tucker did not play like an 8 seed. Oh no, they made this competitive for the most part, but Hubley was dominant. Also in the circle, not doing a bad job herself. How about this? Tucker. The anatomy of an upset is you got to make the plays that are given. They made it right there. Nice double play. We go to the second inning. Hubley's still doing her thing. Gets a strikeout right there. Kendall Shockley on the mound for Tucker in the circle, I should say. Another strikeout for Hubley. Hard to get the bat on the ball in this one. Now, Rise ball takes care of business. Strike him out, sit him down. Hubley in good shape. But in the third, Kendall Shockley got a seeing eye double, if you will, down the line. Then, ball gets away. She advances to third. Should be safe on the tag. That would lead to this. That rise ball went a little too high. Here she comes. Shockley safe at the plate. And don't look now. The 8 seed J.R. Tucker has a 1-0 lead after 2.5. We're almost midway through this ball game. But the Godwin bats would get things going. How about this for recovery? Firing to first, but the throw was too high. So Godwin has a base runner in the form of Carter Dunham. Later, how about the steal? How about no? Tucker's D at times was extremely solid. Catcher, Corrine Lewis, making a dynamite throw right there. And then other times it wasn't. The fly ball dropped right there. I got it. I don't got it. So now Tucker has some players in scoring position for this. Can't make the play at first, and safe at home, alertly heading to scores Adeline Collins. And then that doggle hunt line drive, base hit to left. You can't give Godwin a bunch of outs. They will pounce. Lainey Pulo scores on the RBI double base knock by Bella Ross. 2 runs in the third, give him a 2-1 lead. Next inning, and Godwin's bats, well, they really started to heat up as the game went on. Number 4, Avery Fankhauser with a double. That would lead to this. It's a gapper! And an RBI. That ball goes all the way to the wall. 1 run comes across the score. It's an RBI triple for Carter Dunham. Later. How about this? Shortstop's pretty good at J.R. Tucker, but it's an RBI ground out. Godwin adds their lead. That would make it 4-1 at that point, and that was all that Hubley needed. She's going to play defense, make her own play. They would add another later as Godwin's bats were on fire. Bella Ross advanced to second. Heck, she's going to get all the way to third, and just save at third is Ross. That would lead to this. That is a base hit to left. Ross scores. Mackenzie White drives her in, and the Godwin Eagles had a 5-1 lead at that point. More than enough, as I said earlier, for Caitlin Hubley and her double-digit strikeouts. Remember, she's hit over 500 for her career earlier this season, and she's just adding to it. Godwin going to survive and advance, and they were dominant after the third inning. Great year for Tucker, but Godwin moves on. 6-1 is your final.
With the win, the Lady Eagles go to states with Godwin baseball and girls soccer and boys soccer. What a week for Mills Godwin. Coming up, who would Godwin face in guys soccer? Tucker, as the 2 seed, takes on James River, and Highland Springs makes history in a playoff match with Landstown. I'll explain next. Hey!
So, same time next week?
Well, of course.
Put away a few bucks, feel like $1 million. For free tips to help you save, go to Feed the Pig.
Welcome back to SportsWire Class 5C Boys Soccer. We remember earlier in the show, if you do remember, Godwin with that big win over Midlothian. They would await the winner of Tucker and James River. Tucker, the 2 seed in this one. James River fighting on the road as a 6. And guess what? They got off to a blistering start. Sometimes the team that's more aggressive early, it pays off. It would right here. Just 5 minutes into this one. Off the deflection and the rebound. He shoots, he scores! Will Morris gives James River and the Rapids a 1-0 lead early in this one. Still tons of time, as I said, 34 minutes and change, and Godwin would have their opportunities. They are a good offensive club. They have been all season. That shot just goes wide from distance. Tigers, later in the first, they got numbers. JRT looking for the equalizer here. Nice pass. Centering. Johnny on the spot, though, was the Rapids keeper, and he was a good one in this match. 1-0 was the score at the half. Second half, a great opportunity for Tucker. Might be the best of the evening. One of the best. Keeper beats him to the ball. Still 1-0. James River clinging to that lead. They would have opportunities themselves to add to it. Can't show every highlight, though. Tucker with chances of their own. This is the best one. Off the crossbar. Well, off the crossbar of the goalpost. Long story short, Rapids make that goal stand up. Great season for J.R. Tucker, but James River advances to face Godwin in the regional title. 1-0 is your final. Well, let's go to Highland Springs High School Class 6 opening round of regionals for the Springers. Get this. Highland Springs, taking on Landstown, opened in 1952. Now, I'm sure they didn't have a soccer team in 1952, but been around a long time. This is the first time in school history that Highland Springs High School has hosted a regional playoff game So congrats to the Springers. They had an over 500 record, and they had moments like this, where, in transition, Highland Springs looked to take a lead on the Eagles of Landstown. Pass inside, though, would get knocked away. They did get a shot, but the deflection works in Landstown's favor. Later, great job. Highland Springs' keeper was magnificent in this one. Good job by the defense. That goes off the post. Somehow, they avoid damage, but they wouldn't hear. The foul in the box leads to a penalty kick, and most of the time when that happens, well, it's not good to be the keeper. You're either going to make a play and be sensational, or you're just going to get beat. That goal's too wide. He shoots, he scores. Eagles, they have landed at Highland Springs, not too far from the airport, and Landstown has a 1-0 lead. I will say this, Highland Springs had a pretty good game plan, playing great defense and then turning it into transition. Their keeper also kept them in this match to give them a shot. That goes wide. Nice job by the D. Landstown would have more opportunities in the first to improve on their 1-0 lead. Here's one, but the keeper gets big. Nice job in net. Springers say no. Still 1-0 Landstown. They would try to add to it here on this corner. Firing. Nope. A brick wall in yellow. The black and gold of the Springers should be proud. Here's a chance for Highland Springs, one of their best of the evening. Late first half highlights on the breakaway and getting through 1, 2, 3, 4 Eagles, but it's not going to come to fruition as Landstown was the better side in this one, even though they were on the road. Tough schedule out there in the 757 where they're from, and they made it pay. Great stop in net once again. Player of the match for Highland Springs was definitely the keeper, but it was too much Landstown in this one. Highland Springs did a good job limiting Landstown to just 1 goal in the first half. Second half, though, Landstown, the Eagles, going to find 2 more as the keeper makes another sensational save. Highland Springs' terrific season comes to an end. Landstown wins it 3-0.
And with that, there are, as of this recording, 13 Henrico County teams heading to states. That's the most spring teams to ever go to states in one season for the county. And we will do our best to get as much of the action as we can. Remember, if you have questions or comments about the show, just send me an email to this address, sportswire@henrico.k12.va.us. And you can always follow us on X and watch episodes on YouTube. I can't wait to see you next time on Sportswire.